Welcome back to The Outsider's Perspective. My name's Ollie, and here's your loaf of daily bread. Today's loaf comes to us by way of Manly P. Hall, and he says, "Every man's true teacher is his own higher self, and when the life is brought under the control of reason, this higher self is released from bondage to appetites and impulses, and becomes priest, sage, and illuminator." I have learned so much from my teachers. I have learned so much from people like Marcus Aurelius, Lao Tzu, Rumi, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Carl Jung, Joseph Campbell. The list goes on and on. These individuals have taught me things which have made a positive impact in my life, which have transformed my life in some cases. Yet at the same time, I can't help but feel that there was something in me that recognized the value and the truth of their teachings. There was something in me that related to something in those people and something in their writings and in the messages that they left me. And this is what Manly Hall is alluding to. We're talking about the self again, the supreme self, the Atman, the Christ consciousness, this quality that each of us has, this spark that can be fanned into a bright flame if we nurture it and pay attention to it. And there are other things that we can do to fan that spark into a flame, as Manly Hall tells us in this passage. Manly Hall rightfully tells us that every person has this inner teacher, the higher self. And when we bring the higher self to life, when we nourish it, and when we give it the instrument of reason, it becomes our teacher, our sage, and our illuminator. It becomes our direct connection to the divine, and it is in fact divine in itself. When we free this spark from the darkness of ignorance, from the rigidity of conditioned patterns of thinking, feeling, and doing, when we're able to control our impulses and master our appetites and direct our own lives, it's because what we've done is we've freed the higher self. We've liberated it. This is the path to illumination. There is a quality, a presence, an awareness in you that is wise beyond your comprehension. It knows without knowing. Call it the intuition, if you will. Malcolm Gladwell wrote an entire book about it. It's called Blink. He doesn't call it intuition. He talks about our capacity to make snap judgments. And of course, the subtitle of the book is Thinking Without Thinking, or something like that. Throughout the book, he describes these individuals who are able to arrive at remarkably accurate conclusions without knowing how. There's the tennis coach who can predict whether a player will default on the serve 9 times out of 10. But when asked how he knows, when asked what it is about the person doing the serve that triggers this knowledge, the coach doesn't know, and he can't answer. A lifetime of coaching and playing tennis has created a kind of unconscious intelligence with regard to that sport. And the coach is able to tap into it, and he trusts it. He feels it. He knows in a way that is not intellectual. He knows that the player is going to default and hit the ball right into the net. And sure enough, he is 90% accurate at predicting this. But consider again the most remarkable thing about this example. He doesn't know how he does it. See, there's an intelligence in each of us that is more intelligent than ourselves. In any case, that's it for me. Thanks for joining me once again, and don't forget to live well, my friends.